peeling on the neoprene wetsuits was the first job on Gory's slipway as the boat crews of driver, lookout and skier prepared for the wet, bumpy and strenuous business of water ski racing. These boats may look small, but they're capable of speeds up to and over 70 miles an hour, although for skiing they'll slow to between 25 and 35. Despite the thrills in store, everyone seemed pretty relaxed. Richard True, you're probably Jersey's unaccredited water skiing champion. Can you tell us about how this race is going to be organised?
Yes, basically it's a single skier race as opposed to a relay which we've had in the past with 3 skiers. It's out to the Ecrihoes buoy, round the buoy and back, and it's the first boat past the end of St Catherine's Pier there, Gory Pier, which is the winner.
Now there's all different sizes boats involved. How do you sort of handicap things?
This isn't a handicap race. It's split into 2 classes, up to 100 horsepower and over 100 horsepower, and there's a separate prize for each class.
So things really rely on the ability of the skier to stay up behind the boat?
Yes, obviously in flat conditions the fastest boat is a great advantage, but the rougher it gets the more onus is on the skier rather than the boat.
What about today's conditions? How do they work out?
It's looking pretty rough at the moment. In fact, we've got a boat just checking it out at the moment, and if it's really too bad we may have to consider shortening the course.
And indeed, although it looked calm in the bay as the 7 competitors launched their boats, it was a different story out at sea.
What's it like, Andy?
When you're going out and you've got the wind and the waves coming into across the beach, it's really bad. Because it's a constant, really tight chop.
And so, with the wind picking up and the visibility worsening, it was decided to scrap the 15-mile Ecrihoe run. Instead, a hastily called driver's briefing set a shorter 2-lap course using a circuit between Gory and St Catherine's Breakwater, running a total distance of just over 6 miles, with the start and finish line just off Gory Pier. Then came the time for our camera crew to get afloat in a chase powerboat as the small fleet assembled for the start. If you've ever tried water skiing, then you'll know that travelling 10 yards is something of an achievement. With 6 miles to face, the experts were meticulously prepared as the starter lined them up. But Richard True, driven by Mark Hewlin in finishing touch, managed to get up again to cross the line as overall and Class 1 winner. Then came the small boat Class 2 winner, 17-year-old Nigel Hurst, driven by his father Richard in Lucas service. Class 1 runner-up was Gary Dobson, skiing behind Action Replay, and in Class 2, Bob Galichon behind Mick Tostovin's Charger. But most unfortunate was halfway leader Scott Donaldson, who found himself unable to remount after a fall and spent the rest of his race looking for a lost ski that was never found.
This one, the one the smaller cars, actually finished ahead of Action Replay, which is incredible. Credit to them.
The oldest driver and the youngest skier.
Yeah.
There we are, not bad.
Richard, congratulations on coming through the winner, but at one time there was a small boat out there well in front of everyone else, Scott Donaldson.
That's correct, he got off to a terrific start. We had a bad start, a boat drifted over just in front of me as we were about to start, and my driver hit the throttle before I was quite ready, and so I lost the line. By the time he'd circle around and pull me out, we started off right at the back of the field.
So you were coming from behind the whole way?
We're coming from behind. A lot of boats must have lost their skier fairly early in the first lap, because after we got round the second green buoy I could only see 2 boats ahead of us. I couldn't identify them at that time. I thought one of them was Action Replay, which it was, which I thought was leading, but in fact turned out was second. The other one I thought was possibly Charger, but in fact turned out to be Scott Donaldson, which was going really well, because we're a much faster boat and it took us 3/4 of a lap to catch him.
What was it like out there? It was pretty rough in our chase boat, but it must have been even more fun for you.
It was pretty rough. I'm glad they changed it from the Ecrios.